Leonardo DiCaprio, the all-American boy with the Renaissance name, has defied easy definitions. An intense and chameleon-like actor, Leonardo went into acting as a way to escape his impoverished childhood. It was by chance that he had a precocious talent. He never dreamed how well he would succeed.
It all started when Evelyn DiCaprio and her husband George were strolling through the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, Italy. She was in front of a fantastic painting by Leonardo da Vinci when she suddenly received a swift kick from her unborn baby, and she took it as a sign. On November 11th, 1974, Leonardo DiCaprio was born in Hollywood. Leonardo's family was dirt poor, and this really motivated the young boy to get out of his meagre circumstances and do better in his own life. When he was just a little boy, Leonardo appeared on his own favourite TV show, Romper Room, and he was nearly kicked off the set because of his disruptive behaviour, something that was actually to show up later in life. The experience did nothing, however, to dampen his enthusiasm for acting.
Acting is the only sure bet that I've ever had, the only thing that I've ever really known that I've wanted to do.
And cut.
When an agent recommended that Leonardo was far too fancy a name, he suggested that the actor call himself Lenny Williams, much more American-friendly, apparently. Leonardo, good for him, said no, stuck to his exotic name, and despite it, did remarkably well. He starred in the spin-off TV series Parenthood. He appeared in only 3 episodes, but the word was already out. There was a new hot talent in town.
In 1991, the 16-year-old hit the silver screen for the first time in the B-film Critters 3. That same year, he received rave reviews as Luke, a homeless boy who had a reoccurring part in the TV series Growing Pains.
In 1992, Leonardo blew away the competition when he auditioned for the De Niro vehicle, This Boy's Life, playing De Niro's son. He was one of 400 boys who went for the role, including Tobey Maguire. Tobey actually was so terrified of starring opposite Robert De Niro that he froze completely in the audition. Leonardo snagged the role, but because by then the 2 boys had made friends, he actually scored Tobey a small role in the film. From their late teens, Leonardo and Tobey Maguire and a few other hot young celebrities got a reputation for being rebellious, for clubbing through the night and chasing gorgeous supermodels. The list of Leo's conquests goes on and on. And I have to say his frequent attendance at fashion shows all over the world didn't really have anything to do with his own interest in designer wardrobe, but much more with the gorgeous women who were wearing the clothes.
While busily generating his party animal status, Leonardo remained very close to his adoring mother and sometimes brought both her and a date with him to his premieres. He lived with Ermeline in Echo Park until he was 20 and has been quoted as saying that he would be happy if he found a woman with half the qualities of his beloved mom.
I took my mother the Golden Globes, and unless I get a girlfriend real quick, then I'll probably take her again, because I think she's the most important woman in my life right now.
In between parties, Leonardo was cultivating a serious reputation as an extremely talented actor. In 1993, the 19-year-old was cast along with Johnny Depp and Julia Lewis in the quirky independent film What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Leonardo positively disappeared into his character, the mentally handicapped Arnie, so much so that when they were looking through the shots, frame by frame, the director, Lasse Hallström, could never find anywhere at all where he dropped out of character, even after he called cut. Audiences were completely blown away by his performance, and not surprisingly, the role led to an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. But Leonardo was never one to be really swept away by awards and nominations.
I've been acting for a little while now, and I see what heat does and how it can sometimes be, in disguise of something else, that it's not always what it seems, that, things fade away and then they come back and they fade away. And, I'm just looking at I just want to have a long career, so, and I'm looking at it as something that's, you know, just going to give me more opportunities for the time being.
In 1995, the neo-western The Quick and the Dead was being cast, and along with Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone was starring, and because she was such a powerful force in Hollywood at the time, she was given her choice of directors and co-stars, and she was so determined that Leonardo should play the part of Gene Hackman's son that she announced that she would personally pay his salary as long as he got the role, and she did.
The 21-year-old surpassed the leading lady's expectations.
Leonardo is without a doubt the most talented, gifted actor I've ever seen, ever. I've never seen anyone who has a gift that Leonardo has. He has this unbelievable ability to transcend all things.
Leo got to lock lips with the gorgeous Sharon Stone. Admittedly, it was very brief, and it only took 2 takes.
I'll tell you what it was. She shoots the guy, and then she grabs me by the neck and she goes, and like flings me off, sort of. It's not like a passionate thing by any means. And you know what? I was expecting a little more from old Sharon.
Leo's 19, so it's a lot like kissing your arm. This was my first kiss of a 19-year-old. But with Leo, I sometimes sit and look at him because we've become good friends. He's a brilliant mind, just astonishing creativity, just way, way beyond what you can imagine someone who's been 17 years out of diapers to have any comprehension of. His sense of life and truth is really astonishing.
While Leo was turned down for the part of Robin in Batman Forever in 1995, he got the thumbs up to play the main character in the dark and moody film version of Jim Carroll's gritty autobiographical novel, Basketball Diaries.
It's a low-budget movie in New York. It's about this kid growing up on the sort of hip streets of New York and getting addicted to heroin. So it's a real sort of dark film.
Leonardo embodied the tormented character flawlessly.
Unfortunately, the performance was so compelling and convincing that a high school student in Kentucky who was just 14 copied one of the dream sequences in the film and gunned down 8 of his classmates, actually killing 3. A lawsuit was filed against the filmmakers by the families of the victims, but it was eventually dismissed based on First Amendment rights.
When we come back, Leonardo turns his back on the opportunity of a lifetime.
Leonardo was set to turn down the next role that came his way too, in Titanic, directed by James Cameron. He was more used to playing brooding, intense characters and didn't much like the idea of playing the leading man in what was obviously going to be a massive blockbuster